Some of these guys really don't like me. But we have got a... we've got one of these buildings here. So that should actually also reduce unrest in on this planet, right? So planet summary, unrest is now 37. So if I build another stronghold, maybe I should build more strongholds instead of placing the thing under martial law.
New technology discovered.
Technology. The Omega Theory. When a temporal paradox becomes entangled, a kind of consciousness arises with its own needs, its own desires. This is what has occurred within the consciousness that some call the worm in waiting. If we can align ourselves with that consciousness, we might just achieve a kind of immortality. Oh yes. I like the sound of that. Defense grids, research, a bid for interplanet. What does this do? Basically, massively complex. Hey, I fail to see why I would do anything else other than the fact that it's going to take a really long time to research that. But no, we do need to find a spot to build our special institute. We have the Omega alignment. Constructing Omega alignment will remove the food, but it will give us the surface of this object angles space. The interior is not visible to any sensor or imaging technology available, but we all know what's in there. Omega implies that it is at the end of something, but this is the worm in waiting, so it exists at both the beginning and the end. By chance, patrol units recently discovered a hidden deep space resource cache in the Zudra system, close to our border with the Sathori Void Riders. The massive cargo containers of the cache contain spoils from several Sathori raids that must have launched centuries ago. At some point, this cache was forgotten, or perhaps its owners were killed in another raid, or one of the countless Sathori intermachine feuds. In any event, the contents now belong to us. So I get a pittance in terms of minerals and all that stuff. Unusual encounter in Mercuria. We've encountered some form of alien vessel in the Mercuria system. These strange objects have been flagged the Upsilon aliens, but we have been unable to pick up any of their communication, making it impossible to translate their language. We will just have to wait and see what comes next. So that's here. Oh, Mercuria. Interesting.
Construction online.
The end in the beginning. There is a consciousness outside time and beneath space. It is a labyrinthine tangle of desire and desperation. Our remote ancestors knew it as the loop, the worm in waiting. We have met it out there where the void is tormented by gravity. It seems to have taken a personal interest in us. There are mathematical proofs that it loves us, but love to the worm is not like love to anything that subsists in ordinary space. With all we have achieved, we think we might be able to use the Omega alignment to open an access route, an entry point, for the worm to manifest in our home system. The worm is fond of beginnings, and this is ours. What consequences would that have? We have yet to find anyone who's prepared to commit an answer. Immortality, perhaps, or apocalypse. But we would certainly learn a great deal. So we can say, this is not a safe experiment, but we could learn much, or perhaps the worm loves us, and perhaps we could love the worm. So it begins, okay. Issues special project to generate the entry point.
Situation log updated.
Well, we're going to have to do that. Where we go? The alien, the worm in waiting signs, generate the entry point. 3 months of physics research. Oh boy. Are you excited? I'm excited. Well, 3 months away. What could possibly go wrong? I hope it doesn't mess around with my ability to capture those animals, because it would be kind of annoying. Oh, the Sathori Void Riders are running on a raiding fleet. But they're raiding over in this direction. It's interesting that they're red when they're in that system. Oh wait, they're really heading out raiding fleets. I wonder who's paying them.
System charted.
There we go. We very quickly... Zubak's model contains dark matter. This increases research speed. Really nice to have that. I wonder what it would take to actually... Oh, the heart of the sun. The project is complete. The accelerators are online. The power network of a dozen cities is diverted to wake the pseudo-singularity in the heart of the alignment. Space shudders like wind-racked cloth. Exodar, for a heart-stopping moment, dims and then brightens. A shadow coils in its heart. The worm is here. It unfolds like origami. Across the system, sensors shut down in abject disbelief as the incomprehensible data of its arrival sleets through them. On the homeworld, our subjects scream and cower as they feel its attention turned upon them and upon us. It presents a wordless question, or rather we have become aware that this question was always what it was asking us, every time we encountered it. So we can say, "No! We have brought it here to learn, and if need be, defeat it," or, "Yes! Whatever it requires, we consent." The future. The worm loves us. It will always love us, and thus, it will always has us. It winds around the hot heart of our home star. It winds around every infinitesimal loop of genetic information. It provokes a shuddering series of cataclysms in the planetary crust of our home. But when our star grows cold, that cataclysm will warm us. We understand so much more. We will always be what we were going to be. Wound tight in the love of the worm. What was shall be, what shall be was. So yeah, what's happened in here? We have a black hole now. Typically formed as the result of the collapse of a very massive star. Typically, not in this case. We still have a couple of stars here, which is interesting, but a bunch of planets have now been turned into tomb worlds. So yeah, this is an interesting interaction. The original script obviously called for the solar system would just go cold, but in this case only one of the stars has turned, and it's the wrong star, oddly enough. Right? That's the star surely that should have gone cold. Well, whatever. Time to start colonizing those worlds. Also, let's take a look at my home species now. So, Voor, you now prefer tomb worlds. And everything else is the same. It's just you now prefer tomb worlds instead of cold worlds. Now, presumably, my other people still prefer regular worlds. Kosk Prime is an Arctic world. Yeah, you guys still have Arctic preference. So now I have people that can move to my tomb world. Isn't that great? I can start, like, getting rid of all those robots. Who needs those robots when we have people? We can just put robots to work for mining. That's the main thing we want them for. Everything else we can kind of throw away. And resettling, I guess. Wow, well that was pretty spectacular. Let's take a look at my species actually as well. Species. So we have the Voor, and we have the radioactive Voor. So what do these guys get that's different? Oh, these guys also get natural physicists. So if I select them, yeah, they still have -1, and these guys have 0. I'm hoping to remove the repugnant thing at some point, but... yeah, other species, owner, happiness, all that stuff. I mean, I guess I could replace it with weak, since I don't really need the army damage. So yeah, which tomb worlds are the biggest? That looks pretty big. 17, 18, 21, 24. So Vipellar. Now, yeah, if I obviously had played this to min-max, I would have moved my capital system to somewhere else, right? To somewhere where I had as many barren planets as possible, but I'm not doing that in this case because I'm a nice player. I want to share that narrative. The Voor build. world. Oh, that's us. What was shall be, what shall be was. Or what will be was, or yeah. You know what I'm meaning. Meanwhile, in more more mundane tasks, Puglish is almost about to discover what was up with the elusive Tarblack. A beastie which will be some part of my alien zoo, although since my alien zoo is now a tomb world, I suspect the animals have all died. We just haven't really embraced the implications of turning the world to a tomb world. After an extensive search of the seabed of Jurg Sarmin using a small fleet of mini-submarines, the crew of the MSS Cal Kumpuk finally managed to corner the elusive target of their search, a live Tarblack, the shimmering creature which defends itself by emitting faint psionic signals that produce a sense of dread in most organics, was brought aboard the science ship in a special water tank simulating its natural environment. The crew members on the MSS Cal Kumpuk that came into direct contact with the Tarblack will require extensive therapy, but the mission has been a success. You now can explore that world. The ancient frozen remains of almost 1,000 aliens have been found in the vicinity of Tiasvia. They came from over a dozen different species, and preliminary dating puts the corpses at roughly 600,000 years old, around the same time as the Cyber-X machine consciousness ravaged that part of the galaxy. Interesting. Organic remains. I think that just gets me Cyber-X progress, but sure, I'll get that for completeness. Well, this guy's, he's totally happy now. Well, 43%. 6%. Yeah, look, these guys are actually starting to work. Do nice things. I should swap you over. There you go.
New technology discovered.
Okay. Interstellar campaigns. What? Okay, fire rate, genetic habitability, habitability. Clearing the wildlife, let's do that. Oh yeah, you know what? Now, no. Policies and edicts. I should definitely get the research grants because I haven't been using that. Research speed plus 10%. Let's just push these numbers up. What's really interesting is this. How do we get to this place? There's like a dead-end system here. All I can think of is that it must be connected via this one. And I have to move into this square, into this system to actually detect the hyperlane links. So this might be one of the, one of the precursor chains that's been discovered. Ah man, Cyber-X Alpha. Need to figure out how to get my people in there. Meanwhile, up here, the Bakata Horde, yeah, they're really stretching their legs, and there's not much that I can do about it. I mean, I could send people up there and try to hunt down their leader, who's had declared Commonwealth of Man their rival. Yeah, nothing special, nothing that I care about. You can see actually that I've got bonuses to society because of all the buildings from the horizon signal. I'm going to get bonus to physics from all this. Concluded. And yeah, the engineering isn't getting. The dead aliens we found above Diaz Via all died from vacuum exposure, and each individual had the barcode. The Cyber-X were known to laser onto the skin of organic captives. It seems like the Cyber-X executed these aliens by spacing them, perhaps after having finished interrogations or to keep them from escaping during some kind of rescue operation. We may never know the truth. Engineering research gained 150. Well, that's nice, but not that useful. See, now starting to look a little like a normal planet. You guys are getting happy. You're understanding that, oh, xenophobes still. You guys are still xenophobes. But don't worry, I've seen that you guys can change. I understand.
Research project concluded.
The Tessergoid is an extremely lethal predator that stalks the dense jungles of Jurg Kirdath at night, paralyzing its prey with electric shocks before sucking their brains out with its tube-like mouth. Unfortunately, 3 of the crew members from the MSS Kalkumpuk were lost to these creatures before a specimen could be secured. The Museum of Exobiology on Hyverion will rename one of its wings after these brave officers to honour their sacrifice. Unfortunately, the brave officers of this science ship, which happens to be staffed by mushrooms, cannot visit Hyverion anymore because it's a tomb world. Of course, you know, they can live in deep space, so yeah.
Research project
The Zulkar are swarming insect analogues, unusual both for their large size and for the fact that they are lithivores feeding off rocks and minerals in the ground. One of the shuttles belonging to the GFTS Sijax sustained serious damage, and when it inadvertently passed through a large swarm, several Zulkars began to feed on its hull. The construction of the special containment facilities required to hold these creatures has already begun at the Museum of Exobiology on Hyverion. All of the specimens asked for by the Museum of Exobiology have been secured. The museum has grown to a massive facility where artificial gravity generators and atmospheric processes are used to simulate the environment of over a dozen worlds. Visitors are journeying from all over across the Voor technocracy to see its wonders. So I get a ton of unity, society research, energy credits, and influence. Excellent. And finally, I managed to get away without actually invading someone. How often does that happen? Like, seriously. I've done this several times where I've had to invade people to get the stuff that I want.
Incoming transmission.
Hey, the diplomacy, offers this gift. Why are you guys giving me stuff? I agree. Why are you... what I really want is these systems. How do we make you guys, like them? The Just Alliance ensures... See, these guys don't like me, but why are they giving me stuff? Are they just afraid of me? Is that what it is? They're receptive. They're interested in closer relationships with us. Asked to join their federation. Base -50, opinion -9. If I could push that up, yeah. Offer tribute. They won't... Oh, they're federation builders. You know, it'd be nice if they would, like, offer to trade these. I think I have to claim these before they'll trade them, but it would be really nice if I could get them. The other thing I want to do is build up a fleet and run in here and kill these systems. That's the other possibility, is I just go in and I take care of these. Could be problematic. But I'm not averse to the fact.
New technology discovered.
We can unlock these tile blockers, thank you. Tomb World adaptation. That doesn't matter, we've already got that. So, it would be nice if I actually had NJOS Vapor. A weak but insistent signal transmits on repeat from the Odiamon system. The MSS Kalkumpuk has pinpointed its source to be emanating from within the mouth of a destabilized subspace rift at the system's edge. What could be on the other side? Perhaps we shall find out. Now I'm curious, because that sounds new. Exploring the natural wormhole.
System surveyed.
Now, where is that leading? Connected to unknown. Oh, that's interesting. So that's how you get there. There's a wormhole here. We're on the other side. That's cool. Travel to unknown. Oh, I'm totally interested to see what goes on here. The MSS Kalkumpuk has encountered a massive being of pure energy in the Moibion system, a veritable vortex of psionic forces. This entity should only be approached with the utmost caution. Bafflingly, the Moibion system itself seems to be entirely devoid of any connection to the subspace hyperlane network. Whether this entity's presence has severed the system's hyperlane connections, or if unexpected subspace fluctuations trapped it here is unknown. One matter is known, however. The repeating signal we first registered in the Oidiumon system, Odlamon system, appears to originate from the Moibions, too.